Welcome. It's been a while since I've been here. At least 2 weeks, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, it's been a long and difficult last 2 weeks. So I'll try to take a little bit of time off tonight and do some mini painting. Keep working on the Ettin there. Slowly but surely move him forward. And, one sec. I'm the only one in the house because the family is still away overseas. Just me and the dog. He's currently outside. What kind of audio do we got going on here? Is it playing something? Witches dance. How come it's not? I don't hear anything. For witches dance. How about Pharaoh's chamber? Yeah, there we go. There's something. Who knows? Maybe I had it on mute. Anyway, there's this guy. Let's pour this beer. Tonight we're drinking Spriggan Fern Brewing Company Good As NZ IPA. Start off with one more beer after this. Spriggan Fern tries to, I think, look like a craft brewer, but who owns them for real? Spriggan Fern Richmond. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're really craft or not. What does that mean? How big are their batches, I guess? That's what that really means. All right, let's pour this beer, and we'll start going back to this guy. And I'm going to work on his midsection. He's got a belt and stuff. And that at least will put everything on him having been painted once, sometimes twice. And we'll go from there. Okay, there's the beer. NZ IPA. Wow, it's really peachy right there. That's a really peachy stone fruit, as they'd say. What are the hops in this? Doesn't say. Very peachy. Put that there. Put this over here. My paint's there. Right. Okay. Get this going over there. I've got my wet palette. I've got the sky. Let's see. Like this. Zoink. See him better. What am I doing with him? Doing something like that. Okay. Let me paint this guy here. His midsection. Now the rope there. I think I'm gonna stain that rope. Well, no. First, I'm gonna do this bone. I'll do the bones. Bones and skulls and teeth, etc. And then the rope. Bones and skulls and teeth and bags. Yeah, okay. Let's do bones and skulls and teeth. It's been at least, I don't know, 3 weeks since I painted, maybe? Far out. Maybe just 2 weeks. Zerathon, what are you doing out there? On like Agora quests. Huh. Let me get back to my Discord area. Down to my new and reds. Well, who's that? But that's I know who that is. Ooh, mini pictures, new stuff, mini pictures. Wow, who is that? Oh, right. Grizzly Bear has put some things in my mini pictures, social media, Discord channel. I'm just over here. I am on the windowsill is a vortex shaker, and I'm mixing some white paint. I didn't get my brushes out. How's that? How's that for not knowing what you're doing? All right. Brushes. That too is nice to start off. Did I buy? I bought some brushes recently, didn't I? I wonder if they're legitimately still in my bag, in my backpack. Because I don't see any brand new brushes here. Even though I swear to God I bought some brand new brushes recently. That looks not brand new. I'll look in my backpack in the cupboard to see if I have a brand new brush in my backpack. Let me just see this. Hold on. Look back up right here. It'd be funny if I had. It'd be nice if I had brand new brushes in there. No. Are they in here? Ah! I got a brand new brush right there. I didn't even know it. Just one, or do I have more than that one? Maybe I just bought one brush. This is what I only bought. Okay, that's a bunch of rubbish. Rubbish. Pen. Do I have any more brushes, or is it just that? That's funny. What's my brand new brush? It's a 0. All right, I'll put that aside. Nice looking brush. Okay, yeah, but we'll let this guy right now. Put the white. Line there. Okay. My white paint. Hey, Diadems. Wow. 35 months, Diadems. 37 months. Gosh, how you doing, my man? Back to some semblance of normality here. New Zealand Wednesday night mini painting. Gosh, it's just been streaming chaos for me. D&D hobby chaos. I haven't even had, as you may know, a good Sunday, New Zealand Sunday, of course, Sunday session for weeks. Just a few days ago, I had my virtual Greyhawk game. The Sunday before that, I was too busy prepping for stuff. Maybe I played some Baldur's Gate. It's been at least 3 weeks since I had a Sunday Greyhawk game at home. You know, here, around the table with minis and terrain. Scandalous, frankly. Scandalous. How are you? Scandalous. Such a big friggin' mini. This guy. It's hard for me to get him on camera. Some eye watering there. Pardon me. Some sure. Good to have you here, Diadems, as always. Seriously. Did you watch any of my GaryCon game? Sorry, not GaryCon. Just virtual GreyhawkCon game? You came on, I'm pretty goddamn certain. I was so possessed with focus on the game that had stream open and checked on everything. Yeah, awesome, man. So hopefully you. Thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it. Hope there was some fun there for you. What are you up to? How are you doing? How's your side of things? Wait for the collapse of the country. Seriously? Totally seriously. Yeah, as it has been. I haven't done my normal mini painting stream the last several weeks, right? So he has to talk, etc. But it was seriously total implosion, collapse. Totally. Just like, I mean, wow. Yeah, so shutdown, sure. Happens every 3 years or so, right? But just, wow. Carnage. Just I hope you're not terribly, terribly affected by it. I mean, I haven't talked to my mom for a couple weeks, but I mean, she's on Social Security, so, but I believe things like Social Security checks still get mailed, right? But total collapse of society. You're right. God. Amazing. Yeah, it's just like most of the day I was not watching, I just kind of read about Pam Bondi's testimony in front of Congress, and just like, I read that stuff, I just like, how do people sleep at night people that are so, differences is one thing, kind of policy differences, just so willing to debase themselves in some sycophantic display for no other reason but their own personal monetary success. Wow, just shocking to me. Not affected by it yet. Cost of groceries going up. Has the cost of groceries gone up from the shutdown, honestly, or just in general? Here, because that's here too. In general, okay. Just so, yeah. So shocking. For us here, well, it's groceries too, but I really notice energy prices. I say energy because that's what they call it here. Because our house is electric and we have some gas. We have like a gas stove and whatnot, and gas water heater. Natural gas. So our energy bills are. Gosh, maybe it's worse for you. I don't know, but in the wintertime, our energy bills are high, and of course, they get lower in the summer. I'd say our energy bills average $200 a month, maybe more like maybe not, maybe $250. Maybe I'll say $225 a month. So we're paying $2,500 a year for power in this household. A household of 3, 2 adults and a child. Not super excessive. Yes, I like to take long showers. I do. I admit it. I just sit there and just let the fucking steaming water pour onto me. I admit that. Fuck, I knew I was gonna do that. Fuck! I'm trying to get some... I don't have... Okay, I was able to suck it off. How's that? I don't have any paper towels. Let me get the paper towels. I'll be right back. Paper towels. Able to suck that shit off. Right. Yeah, crazy times. Far out. Far out. Okay. We're painting bones tonight. Gosh, I can't. Yeah, I knew I was gonna fucking do that. I guess I'm not gonna worry about getting those guys, the underside of them. Difficult as it is. So I have an auto chat about my screwed up streaming schedule, and it's gonna be screwed up. Continuing to screw up. I'm away for a good chunk of November. Well, whatever, half of it maybe. For work, so. I mean, during that time will not really occur. Although I'm going to the same place I went last year for work, Brazil, and I actually streamed from Brazil at my hotel, in my Airbnb. I brought a little package of stuff, and I did actually stream a little bit of Brazilian mini painting. Maybe I'll do the same. Teeth. I'm gonna do skulls. Coming into the big long dark in Australia, in Alaska. Big long dark, right? Yeah, got things. His midsection is starting to get come. Hey, it's Wednesday here. Wednesday morning for you. I forgot. Grey League. When are we playing D&D next? Well, if it was last night, sorry I missed it. Or if it was the night before, sorry I missed it. Is it next week? Next week, Monday or Tuesday, we're playing, right? if you want to, I didn't. Greg, I've been so out of my mind, stressed and busy these last 2 weeks. Just craziness for a variety of real and imagined reasons. Um, yeah, Alex. When I see her next, which hasn't been in the last 10 days, I would say, I will try to remember to point that out to her. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to Leo either. I've been so destroyed busy. Um, yeah. Lux Deer, he's gone away. But the Lux Deer will be back in 3 weeks' time when the teaching semester's over. not back, but I have so much marking of stuff to do in October. It's insanity. But by mid-November, the luxury animal will be back in action. Of course, I'll be in Brazil, but I'll be back in action. I promise you. Okay. Now, he's got that chainmail-y stuff there. I'm gonna do that chainmail-y stuff. Do you have Leo's kind of details on Discord? You do. I haven't contacted him at all, Greg. Maybe give him a message. I don't know. He might honestly be going back to work somewhat soonish. I think he told me he had 4 weeks of parental leave. Yeah, yeah, no, I understand too. I every now and then I think, I should text Leon to see what's going on, and make sure he's doing all right. But I'm sure they're doing fine. They have 2 full sets of family here. His wife and him, all their families here. I think he's got a brother here. No, whatever. And so they have big extended network of people. So I bet they're doing okay. Right now, I'm home alone, as I have been for the last 2 weeks, because the ladies are in Hawaii. So they're there for a family trip and a hula trip. So they're there. They were, both Lily and Loki were in Hawaii. They still are. For a hula, their hula group was going there for a bunch of kind of trainings and cultural events. And that was the first week, or 10 days. And now they're staying with Loki's sister for the next week. So it's me and the dog. So you'd think I would have had all this time to paint minis and do D&D, but work stuff has just kicked my ass. So no, but and I'm not blaming anybody but myself. Oily steel and natural steel. What about? I know I should. This castle should be way done, but I haven't progressed beyond there. Again, this summer, mid-November. It all begins mid-November. Gotta go back to playing like the grasshopper and not preparing for anything. And then this time next year, I will again be the child of woe. That's normal for me. Normal. Daylight savings time here now, though, so actually let's remember that when we play next Grand League, hopefully next week. But yeah, right now it's 7:39 here, but we switched over, so we're kind of maybe a different hour than you are. Unless, does Northern Europe, do they do daylight savings time? Yeah, I see. Yes. Yeah, it's 7:40 and it's still light outside. It's only gonna get more so, of course. That changed like 2 weekends ago, not this most recent, but the one before. So 10 days ago. So, are you gainfully employed, Prairie League? Big in work? Or gainfully unemployed? No, I said employed, but yes, that's a better phrase. Gainful. I need to go look that word up. Gainful. And I'm going to do his two little sacks there. I'll just kind of work on the middle section, paint this guy so slowly. The jobs for storage unit applicants. I hope they pick me at the jobs ready to eat. And I need golden coins. you need treasure. Gosh, apparently the job market here is just it's constantly in the news. The horrible job market here. Yeah. I assume mostly for kind of generally laborish, unskilled stuff. That job market is abysmal. So, I hear in the media anyways. Okay, I got those little sacks there, and I do want to paint them in little colors that are not the same color as the guy, but two different versions of it. People even there should be a lot of it. Is that what we have? We have 80,000 net migration loss like a year. Is that our New Zealand's current? I do know that is a well paid attention to metric here, as you know, everyone going to Australia, including several of my former students who are going there because they can make more money than me with a master's degree working for Rio Tinto. Considerably more money than me. Yeah, I'm thinking about going over there. No, not really. Yeah, you'd think, but I guess they're leaving because there's no jobs, right? So eventually it'll balance out. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, I need some brown paints for those two sacks upon our guy here. These little sacks on his belt. There they are. I need some browns there. I could do a gray sack, but no. So those are really warm colors. That's what Loki would tell me, or I think. So I had a cool color. Actually, that was I repainted this guy. So his hair used to be a different color, as was his. So his leather stuff here. This used to be a brown, and everything was just far too brown. So I made it that kind of steelish gray color based on Loki's suggestions. His fur up here was a different color, which I then changed. So this guy's been through some iterations, but I do need something for those sacks there. And so let's look at my possible colors. I got lots of different. Just pull them all out here. That's 6 options. Okay, good lord. Thank you. Yeah, this guy, I'm painting him in a particular way, using this particular technique, which makes it easy to like make big chunks of area look decent. The blood and gore, I'll put that on later. I'll blood and gore him up later. Okay, all these paints here. Golden skin. That could be one. Sorry, so all these paints I got lined up there. So golden skin, that could be. It's possible. And this is orange brown. No, that's not gonna work. It's far too close to other things. Matte possibility. Fur brown, that's too close to his skin tones. Okay, this is flat brown again. That's what that is, right? Yeah, that's an old flat brown. Brigadine brown, maybe. Burnt umber, I don't know. Oh, that's really black. I don't know, probably too black. That red brown, So of these things, what kind of two go together well? So I'm putting his paints like this in my hand. I'm looking at them. Yeah. Might honestly be these two. They're really different, and they would kind of top that. Although maybe Loki might say. I always say Loki because she knows how to do this stuff better than I. Might be something like that. I don't know. They're enough. No, because I want to put red flecks. Yeah, I want to go with those two guys for his two sacks right there. And actually, they will also be kind of changed when I wash them, so I'm not going to over worry it. Yeah. Okay. Right. This one first. So Greyhawk, I played with Les Reno on Virtual Greyhawk Con. I played in his game on my Saturday. Me and a couple other of his kind of table stalwarts, I think. Shieldlands excursion into Horn Society, tracking some evildoers who were stealing children. Really good session. I mean, the one thing about Les is full on theater of the mind, and full on theater of the mind on Discord with only voice. It can be kind of difficult because without the cues of being in the same room or even having a little bit of paper to like map things out on, keeping track only in combat where everybody is and what's going on, and you kind of constantly got to, every time it's your turn you got to ask the DM, okay, I'm over here, what can I see? It's hard for one person to keep all that in control. Anyway, so yeah, a VTT or some kind of basic VTT would be nice. That's how I would say I would. But otherwise, Les is super. His lore is top notch, top notch lore, second to none there. And I appreciate that. So it was a really good game. What he's doing. So Les and a bunch of other people you probably know, right? They're writing that Melf's Guide to Greyhawk or whatever it's kind of called. I don't know. Luke Gygax presents Melf's Guide to whatever. And they're taking, maybe you know. Yeah, it is. It is. I guess Les. I've never seen Les in the flesh, right? Nor as same with Gary Julian, right? So it's really it's difficult. I think one time I played Les, ages ago. And I think I turned my camera on, and so some other people did turn their camera on too, and that was nice. You can see someone, but you had to spend 5 hours just kind of talking without any visual cue. It is mentally taxing. He did. Les did have some images he posted for a couple different things, but really just two. out of, you know, yeah, that was it. So yeah, that is kind of taxing. You know, in all honesty, that's a good way to put it. Just kind of like yeah, which detracts slightly from the enjoyment. I just have to stab a paint with a toothpick. Wow, it's really thick, that paint. 40. Oh, is that true? Okay. That's too bad. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's, you know, it's fine. It's unfortunate. Yeah. I once asked Les what he does for a living. Like, what do you do? And his response was not much, or as little as possible. And when someone responds like that, to me that means they don't want to talk about it. So I didn't, did not no follow up. I didn't follow that up with anything else. All right, we're doing these sacks. Now I guess I'll do a small one in this kind of color. This color's not the best. I'd asked you, Greg, about computer stuff a while back, and I ended up not buying. I was gonna buy a new desktop. I still will eventually, but I was kind of, my rig does fine for running Zoom, a VTT, and streaming and Discord all at the same time. My laptop does fine with that. I have a pretty high powerful laptop, and so I did not, and it did perform just fine. Um, um, and but someday I'm gonna get a new desktop to replace my one with that. Literally caught fire as I talked to you about. This is the first kind of pass at painting this sax hanging off his belt, and that's going to take definitely some more, another coat, because that paint is not very good. This scale 75. Golden skin, yeah, it's a crap paint. I should ditch it. Okay. And I'll do the other sack in this really red. Is that, gosh, or should I do like a gray? Second thoughts. Second thoughts. A gray? No. Oh, I was like, what would Loki say? Sound brown. Shoot. Dark red. Dark red. No. It's just a leather fucking sack. Maybe I should do one of my really leather things. Just flat brown. Maybe. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through my paints. Try to get a good paint for this guy. Does he like? And down on that. Orange red. Medium flesh tone. No. That one and earth medium gray. Sandalwood. Sandalwood's a possibility. Should be darker. Almost really dark. Almost black. So I might go for my smoke. Where is that? For an umber. No. I'm gonna go for that. Yes, so I have not had home game time in weeks. And frankly, I'll let you on a little secret, I don't think it's happening this Sunday either. I am so slammed with university work. I think I need to take Saturday and Sunday. My family gets back on Sunday. I need to take Saturday and Sunday to kind of like catch up, get as much work as I get done, so I can kind of move through October, the rest of October, and not be losing my mind before I go away in November. So yeah, I think that's what's gonna have to happen. I'm gonna paint this other sack, and then I'm gonna refresh my drink, which is also keenly important. It's just not very good. It's super wet. Looks pretty good though. It works. All right. Two bags must hit, but I'm gonna double coat them and the smoke is pretty nice. It actually is creating kind of a nice effect there. And I'm gonna paint the other one again in my, that's dried enough. I can now, gosh, so. Anyways, Greg, I appreciate your understanding with my schedule and my freakouts about my busyness at various times in the last couple weeks. I really don't like when I commit to something, like I will say, I'll be there at this time. I hate having to backtrack on that. Because I hate when it happens to me. People do it to me. And so I don't do that lightly. So I do appreciate your understanding. I guess it means I have to understand that more in other people. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. No worries. Hey, Carbon. How are you? Still working on this Ettin. Probably be a couple more sessions. Well, yeah. This tonight and tomorrow, too. I mean, next session for certain. And speaking of globetrotting, I'm going to try to the kitchen to get myself another beer. So, I'll be back in 45 seconds, all right? I'm back. You have time every time. Never. So okay. So I said 45 seconds. What was that? Oh, so that was 45 seconds. What did I? What was it? That's funny. So Carbon, you said Globetrotters, right? Huh. I don't think I was close. I was close. Quitting, CODs, going home early on time. But Carbon, I was just talking to. I was talking with Diadems earlier. And I said, "How's it going?" And he's like, "Oh, Diadems lives in Alaska." And he was like, "Oh, just like waiting for the total collapse of society." Yeah. So does a shutdown affect you quickly, materially, like right in the right where it hurts? Yeah, other side of the planet. um, I'm doing some traveling in November. I'm doing lots of travel. Well, November, December travel, and I do a lot of travel for my job, other side of the planet every now and then. And I remember saying something to my wife a bit ago about that, and she was like, "Dude, that's not normal. Most people don't do that for their job. It's been normal for you because it's been your entire life, but most people know they don't go to the other side of the planet, 3 times a year for work." I was like, "Oh, I guess that, yeah, that makes sense." Right. So still working on this guy slowly but surely. Down the middle section in. We'll get. He will be. There'll be a first pass of everything tonight. And then we'll start working on details. So now I'm gonna do that shield and the arrows, and then we'll have done the first pass of everything, including his chickens, his emergency chickens. Hasn't yet, but still, it's friggin'. I mean, yeah. So talking with diadems earlier, just well, I don't know. I say just chaos, but what I mean is just like, God. And you think, when's it gonna end? Oh, is Fleet Week? That's when the whole Navy comes, right? Is that what that is? That sounds familiar. Don't they have it in San Diego too? Or is there also a Fleet Week in San Diego? Because my brother used to live, he's a CHP, and he lived in Ocean, he was out of Oceanside. And so essentially his beat was LA to, he was yeah, CHP, so on that motorway. So his beat was LA to San Diego pretty much, I think. Wow. Fleet Week. I forgot about that. That does sound super familiar though, yeah. Okay, this guy's shield, the wood on his shield is super cool. So actually, I'll do the outside first, the ring. I did that in. I'll do it like a plate mail kind of plate. That so you can see this guy lying there like a bum. Otherwise, Cartman, besides work being disaster, how are things? I have not been on people's streams at all the last I almost said fortnight, which is Kiwi British English term, which you probably know, 2 weeks. Last fortnight I haven't been on like Guild Superior or much on Lord Gasumba, even just like so much doing other stuff. I haven't been a good D&D citizen in that way. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, awesome. Did you play any games or just watch? And that too, I played in a game, I DM'd my game, and that was about it. I was so busy. That's all I did. Hey, thanks, man. That's cool. I have to say the one bummer thing about I think my game went well. I had Scottish Jeff and Witch Starfall, and she plays on Lorgasunda stuff. But the bummer is I had 5 full signups, 5 out of 5, right? And only 2 people showed. I was just like, God, that's just like really bums me. That kind of bums me out, because put in a huge amount of effort to like make a good game, and people sign up for it. So I'm ready for them and prepping and making characters, and then in the end, only they were each playing 2 PCs, indeed. Um, so that was kind of a letdown, to be honest. I know that's my opinion too. I was like, that's just rude, dude. I mean, at least if someone had figured it out before, like, if you give me at least like 4 or 5 days notice and say, I'm sorry, bro, something came up, I gotta quit, understandable. But just to not show it all is kind of like, ugh. It's like, fuck. So that was, so my game with Jeff and Witch Starfall was kind of like, it was good. And I enjoyed it. But I was also just kind of stressed that, they were each playing two characters. I was, so it would have been a better game with more people to like, you know, more players to talk and interact and discuss options and whatnot. It's obviously, but that's as it is. Yeah, so that was my only bummer. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this thing right here. And I gotta say, the next day, so one of the players who signed up for my game was a guy from Spain named Alessio. And the next day, he was playing on DM Dave's Miss Marsh game, which I watched a bit of in my office as I was doing other stuff. And I didn't say anything, but I was just like, bro, you could have told me. We even like communicated about the game. We were like, Alessio and I were like, okay, he's like, okay, I got a wizard, blah, blah, can I use these spells? Yeah, so I spent several emails back and forth with him about like the game and what to expect and blah, blah, and then he just didn't even show. Anyways, DM, I caught the little bit of the end of his game on my Monday, kind of midday. Yeah, DM Dave, he's really good. He's really good. And yeah, I really like hanging out with him and playing his games and watching his games, seriously. And yeah, Witch Starfall, she is good. And in my game too, she was good. It was again just her and Scottish Jeff, but she was paying attention, and she was making connections. Saying, okay, if this is okay, they did this, but at the last town, these guys said this, and so yeah, I appreciated her attention to things. Absolutely, I'd agree. And she told me I was playing 5e, and she told me she signed up for my game because she had never played 5e before, and she's like, I just wanted to sign up for games for systems that I have never played, so I can get experience. I was like, okay, great. Yeah, and here's we just kind of learned on the fly. Yeah, she was. I appreciated her. And actually, we're from the same part of the world. She's from Bellingham, Washington, and I grew up in around Seattle. So we knew all the same area. Right. Uh, that's great. If I well, yeah, yeah, exactly. Now I grew up in a small. Hey, if you've ever seen, I'm sure I told you this before, Cartman. If you ever saw the movie Officer and a Gentleman, that's where I grew up. That film is filmed in my hometown. Yeah, so that I grew up in a town called Port Townsend, which is you take the ferry out of Seattle, you drive for half an hour, and you're on the Olympic Peninsula. It was filmed there, so it was totally filmed in Port Townsend in 1978, 79, and all my like all the extras in the film. At that point, Port Townsend, there was like a town of 6,000 people. All the extras in the film are from the town. Um, my parents were at that point renting a house from a guy, and he was an extra in the film, and his motorcycle was the motorcycle Richard Gere drove around on in the movie, and I used to play on that motorcycle in the garage. The the bar where he gets in the karate fight outside the bar, that's called the Town Tavern. That's where I had my first legal drink. And later in the 2000s, my cousin bought that bar and ran it. So all kinds of stuff like that. So the whole movie is like the secret. I died at a secret buckle polishing. Exactly. I forgot about that scene. All of those scenes, those are all filmed in a state park in the town called Fort Worden, where as a kid you would do summer camp there and stay in those same dormitories as where the movie stars were held. Yeah, so yeah, all that is like total home movie. Watch that movie, it's like, yep, those are all mostly my parents' friends as extras in the movie. At Richard Gere, when he goes over to Deborah Ringer's house for dinner, the little girls at the table, Deborah Ringer's sisters, one of those little girls is my high school girlfriend. And I mean, she was a kid then, but later my high school girlfriend. And when we were at university together, this woman and I, in the first couple of years, to do the movie, she had to get like, for some reason, she had to be a part of the Screen Actors Guild because if she was on screen for so many minutes. And I remember like in the first year of university, like in 1989, she got like a royalty check out of the blue for like $700. And we were just like, whoa! Yeah, it's pretty fun. Watch that movie is super fun because it's like just full on home movie. That's where I grew up. Outside, but I always say Seattle because everyone knows where Seattle is. Pretty fun. I'll be going back in March. Yeah, probably March. Any wildlife out there tonight? Get some wood here. And it's gotta have a little dot in the middle. Yeah, now I want to watch that. I mean, I want to watch that movie now because like this, I can picture all the scenes and where they are in town. Like even Deborah Winger's house. That's like by the old roller rink, you know. When we grew up skating, it was called Hot Wheels. Was the roller rink, which now the building is there still, but it's something else. I think it might even be like a, you know, not a church, but it'd be a church social hall, yeah. And so so yeah, I can picture all the streets. Nothing right now. No, quiet as F. Nothing there roaming around. Getting towards winter for you, though. Yeah, that friend of mine, that old girlfriend from because our hometown is so small, and most of my childhood friends' parents still live in our same hometown. It's really a kind of place you live there because you want to. You know, it's not like there's no, you know, there's a paper mill, like in the movie, which I worked at it in college in summers, but you don't go there to get a job. So people who live there because they want to. I went to the same high school my dad went to. because he's from there, and yeah, so all the same parents are still there, so we're all still friends. So yeah, my old high school girlfriend. I was just talking to her yesterday on WhatsApp, and maybe I'll remind her of that. And now I'm new to the wood here. There's really cool wood grain on this in his shield belt buckle there, which I need to paint, and so that wood grain pops out. Ah, Carmen, I didn't know you lived in London. Do you know I lived in London for 5 years? My first academic position was at UCL. That's where my daughter was born. I didn't know you lived in London. And maybe you knew Greyleag's brother, because Greyleag's brother is Belgian but lives in London, and I don't know what his job is. A footy fan. Huh. No, Greyleag is from Antwerp. I didn't know you were English. Okay. I lived in Muswell Hill in West Hampstead for 5 years. Well, I taught at UCL in the early 2000s. And my daughter was born at the Royal Free. Totally. Totally blown. Green Carter. Wow. God, how do you stand to stay in the U.S.? But whatever. Jesus, are you okay? It's like, how long have you been in the U.S.? There's no chance. I mean, you've been there for a long time, right? I really miss London. I mean, London's such. Well, maybe you disagree, but being from that part of the world, such a fabulous city. It's just you need to be as rich as Madonna to live there, you know. But as my daughter is just finishing high school, I'm encouraging her to take a gap year and go back to London. We have lots of friends there, and that'll also allow me to kind of like allow me to go back to London more. Never thought I would follow academics here on Twitch. Yep, a bunch of academics. um, I don't know if you I follow. And what was Kyle of Lock Ash, and they filmed crap. Wow, cool. Well, academics, I don't know, kind of out of touch with the world. They can certainly be. Sometimes I despair at academics, especially in the social sciences and humanities. Not because I think they're unimportant, but because I think they often don't sell themselves well. I'm always telling my students, your research you should be able to tell the bus driver or convince the bus driver why what you do is relevant or important or at least bears listening to. You can't convince the bus driver that, I don't know. So it's got to be relevant. What we do has got to be relevant to people. It can't just be for the academy, for ivory tower scholars to fucking nasal gaze. Oh, I hate that. Language that most academics use is so specialized and so, like, just turns people off. Like, you can't do that. If you want to... I mean, the point of doing research is to have people, like, uptake it, to, like, learn from it. And if you can't connect with individuals who aren't academics, what are you doing? Anyway, rant over. Hey, Trish Tucker! Cassandra Crew stayed in town. Cast and crew. Wow. Sounds fun. Hey, Trish Tucker. Got Cardman. We got Diadems. We got Grey Leagues bopping in and out, I think. And I was just lamenting about academics. And and how I was saying that I tell all my students that their research, well, not has to be, but hey, if you want your ideas, I think academics want their ideas to be taken up and to proliferate and to expand. You want people to learn from you or whatever. You want to be a measure of success is how much your ideas proliferate through society. And to do so, you got to speak a language that society can understand. And if your research is just jargon filled and so esoteric that without any kind of connection to the normal people, that's not going to happen. Who is an academic you admire that does that? Oh my God. Okay. You're right. Gee, that's a great question. So really successful public academics, right? Of course. So the hugest names in the academic world. E.O. Wilson. If you're into evolutionary theory, E.O. Wilson. And of course, from like Stephen Jay Gould. I mean, these guys are at the, Jane Goodall, right? Just passed away, as maybe you know. This is at the top. I mean, like the 0.01% of successful academics of this, just the at the epitome of academics. Wilson, Gould, Goodall. There's a bunch of physicists I like. Sean Campbell, he's a theoretical physicist who writes great books on quantum mechanics and physics in general. Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? I really don't know how much his academic work is lauded over his kind of full-on just science communication, but yeah. I don't know. And in archaeology, gosh. Unfortunately, archaeologists, the most popular archaeologist is Graham Hancock, who's not an archaeologist. Yeah, his YouTube channel is pretty cool. Yeah, indeed. God, is he still? Wasn't he head of like Smithsonian Astronomy? Is he or has he been excommunicated yet by the new regime? So I don't know who else. Probably even esoteric to kind of talk about it. I mean, I think you gotta go look at the popular press science books that get huge and deserved discussion. So yeah, that book by Dave Graeber and Dave Wengrow, Dawn of Humanity. Dave Wengrow was a colleague of mine at UCL, and Dave Graeber was I didn't know his work really. He has that. I really have to read Dave Graeber's book. Well, I don't have to read it, but so you might know that Dave Graeber wrote a book called Bullshit Jobs, which is just about that, bullshit jobs, the jobs that people have in society that are really bullshit. And so I need to read Bullshit Jobs. But so Graeber and Wengrow, public intellectuals of the highest, well, I was about to say the highest caliber. Yeah. I'm only pausing because Dave Wengrow is a colleague and contemporary of mine. We are the same kind of generation. And he has, of course, taken off like a rocket. He is just this, like, international superstar. And I don't know. We do different kinds of work, and we have a different kind of. we are, his kind of work is different from mine. I don't really think I could do the kind of work he does because I don't agree that it's the best kind of work, but it's super popular, and he has spread good gospel, I guess you could say. Yeah. Chemistry. Indeed. Who's a chemist person? There's the book's in my office, and I can't remember his name, but he was the head of, like, the UK Statistical Society. He's a Cambridge statistician, and he wrote a great book on statistics, and I love that kind of stuff. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but and actually, I don't know, Cartman, maybe you know this or not, but there was some doctor in the UK who, like, I don't know, was it in the 90s or early 2000s, who was tried and actually, Bill Bryson's good as yes, and actually convicted of, like, he, like, killed, like, 38 people over the course of, whatever, decades or a decade, by, essentially, not, like, with a knife or something like that, but, like, essentially medically killed them. Yeah, he was a serial killer. And this one guy, this Cambridge statistician, was an expert witness. And he had all this data that convicted the guy about, like, that, his patients who died, they were old and they died, but they died because he, like, gave them drugs and medicine and treatment plans that killed them on purpose. And the statistician was able to demonstrate how they'll give, everything given from, like, previous medical conditions and age and time of day and year, all these stats that showed all of these deaths attributed to the deaths of these people in this guy's care. They were given all these factors. They are so rare. It would be impossible for them not to have been committed by the doctor. It's just literally impossible for all the people to have died naturally, and statistically so vanishingly improbable that it's not possible. And he was an expert witness at this trial. So, Carver, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. So the statistician, God, the book's in my office, so I can't go to my bookshelf next door or something like that. Yeah, he euthanized him, and he was convicted, and he was convicted. And part of it was the stats that this guy brought to bear on the problem that said this is just not possible normally. Yeah. Yeah, next level stats. Fucker, remind me. The book's in my office. It's an awesome book. It's just such an awesome book. I mean, it's hard to imagine a popular press book on stats that is fun to read, but it really is super fun. It's like, you learn so much reading this guy's book. So yeah, it's in my office. I can give it to you tomorrow. Show it to you. Okay, I want to paint. Now I have to do these arrows that are sticking into this guy's belt buckle shield. I tried it, Trish Talker. Your question about who do I admire kind of always. Yeah, Carbon. So you know him. What's the guy's name? I forget the guy's name. Loki, my wife, who Trish Talker knows. She, because if you're not in our field, oh, it is this. I know, isn't this fucking amazing? This is an amazing mini. It really is. It really fucking is. I agree. I should buy more of these bespoke minis like this that are just so detailed. Um, uh, um, yeah, I mean, so I've described to Loki before about how I describe myself as kind of like a mid-level academic. I mean, you know, I'm not a super high flyer. I'm not a piece of shit. And for Loki, that she doesn't understand. She's like, she thinks all academics are like, all professors, PhDs are like this like uber echelon of the intelligentsia. And I said, to some degree, yes. But within that, there's grading. I was like, there's guys that are like, that I know and have occasionally worked with who are friggin' geniuses. And I'll never be that. Never be at that level. For a variety of reasons. Desire, also just friggin' brain power. And so in all these professions, there's like, you know, you could think I could never do this. I could never be a whatever. I could never be a, hey, Doc Shoulder. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm sure. And Doc, I know, Doc, you're an orthopedic. We've talked. You're an orthopedic surgeon. I know that. And there's this like, people think you're X. You know, you're in this field which is kind of like rarefied, and but even within those fields, there's these gradations that are like, yeah. And so Loki, my wife, she's like, oh, you know, I'll say something like, I'll never be at that level. She's like, oh, sure you can. I was like, no, dude, really. In my field, there's some people who are they're like on a different fucking plane of existence. Harold Shipman. Yeah, it's just really. Actually, Doc Shoulder, I think we were playing on one of DM Dave's games, and you were talking about that, like, orthopedic surgeons are like, in the surgeon world, right? They're seen as like, and I'm not cutting you, but aren't they seen as the lower level? Like, these are the mechanics of the surgery world. Surgeon hierarchies. I'm assuming like the top of the hierarchy is like brain surgeon, right? that's thus the phrase, it's not brain surgery. One of the hardest to get into. I grew up, my parents had, one of my parents' best friends was a orthopedic surgeon in the Northwest. And so I grew up, yeah, around this orthopedic surgeon, honestly. Ursel. What was his surname? Yeah, he was a character. He used to mow his lawn. Ah, okay. Doc, are you going to GaryCon in 2026? I gotta get these arrows done. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, sweet, sweet. I'll see you there. Good, good, good. Go a couple years ago, but I want to say like your family member had like a swimming meet or something like that. Does that sound familiar? 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to it. Definitely, we'll definitely hang out. Awesome. Absolutely. It's late for you, is it not? East Coast. It's so early that you're up a bit early. I can do some work study. Hey, Trish Talker. Um, I was talking to Greg earlier, and Oh, you're in Japan. Oh, you're in Japan. Okay, so actually it's early morning right now. Okay. Right? I'm trying to think where I am, where you are. Okay, yeah. All right, got it. Makes sense. Bradley, Trish Tucker's online, so are we playing on Tuesday or Monday? I don't know. Okay, I'm looking at this guy here and trying to figure out what to do. The Japan shoulder. So you really are. So you're an orthopedic, but your specialty is shoulders. I guess that makes sense. So orthopedic surgeons specialize in parts of the body, which makes total sense. The Japanese Shoulder Society. That's funny. I was gonna ask a question, Doc, about like Japanese baseball player Shintai. What's his name? So what's his shoulder look like that makes him such a good pitcher and hitter? Some people are gifted. Some people are next level. Yeah, that's what I tell. I mean, in regards to my field, some people are just next level. Cool, that's cool, Doc. Hmm. Mm, I've been to Japan once. Uh, I used to work for the U.S. military. I was just in Tokyo and Narita. Hmm. I'm guessing orthopedic conferences are like, kind of like all academic research conferences. There's sessions and you give talks and there's panels and there's lots of drinking at night and you get no sleep for a week. Yeah. My academic conferences are the same way. After 4 days, you're just kind of destroyed. Kind of like Gary Con, actually, right? Actually, my academic colleagues, uh, I don't know, my academic colleagues, when I talk to them about my D&D hobby and I talk about Gary Con, I say it really is like an academic conference. There's like, yeah, absolutely. I said, there's sessions. You go into sessions for a couple hours. Everyone is playing games at tables. That session ends. People move to different rooms to do other sessions. I said it's, and if you sign up for sessions, then maybe you're like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna bail on that. So you go to the bar with your mates and you drink and talk. It's exactly like an academic conference. That is, those exact same things happen. Yeah, seriously. All right, I'm gonna paint this guy. The arrows on this guy's thing here. This one. This one. There's enough good enough content. Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah. You go to the bar and you talk all night about stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I felt really home at GaryCon because I was like, okay, this is like every other conference I've been to. The same kind of vibe, the same kind of rhythm. So Trish Tucker, if you ever go to GaryCon, you do it. I went up to Days Con. Oh yeah, yeah, GuildCon. I would love to do that. I would love to do GuildCon. Um, Vamp was there. Nice. Um, it's just kind of hard to fly from New Zealand for that. Someday maybe. Dude, it is too far. I mean, seriously, if I lived in the U.S., I would absolutely be there. Absolutely. Just archaeology professor doesn't pay enough for me to fly to Duluth for a week for a small con. It barely pays enough to go to GaryCon. Yeah, I can't do it. But if I was there, far out, I'd be right there. Actually, next year for GaryCon, I am going to be in the U.S. anyways for some research work at the Chicago Field Museum. So I'm going to kind of combine my work stuff with going to the field and then going up to Lake Geneva. Did they reference Gary Con in Big Bang Theory? I've only watched that a couple times, so I don't know that. Oh, okay, Doc. Thanks for popping in, my man. I really appreciate it, and very much look forward to it. I was on Discord with Dave last couple of days saying, hey, we need to do some kind of one shotty session in the next month or so. So maybe I'll see you next month or so, but definitely see you at GaryCon. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Have fun with your shoulders. Yeah. Just talking GaryCon's awesome. It's so friggin' fun. I think, and I realize it's a bit beyond, I assume, that your means these days. But if you can go to something like that, it's awesome. It's really fun. Okay, that guy's his stuff's coming together. I'm gonna go take a quick bio break, and I'm not gonna tell you how long it's gonna take me because I don't want Greg to time me and then tell me how I'm wrong. So, put that guy there. I'll be back in a little bit. I'll be back in some unspecified time, not too long. All right, right back. Hang out. I'm back. Oh, that's okay. How's my time? Sheldon talks about it. Yeah. Hey, Carbon, if you're still online, there's a gaming shop in London. I think it's called Orc's Nest, nearby near the Palace Theatre, off up from Covent Garden. I think, is that right? Maybe you don't know. Maybe not. Yeah. Just because you're English doesn't mean you know. London game stores. Okay, but you've heard of it. Is that right? I think I was there. I was last in the UK in 2019. Actually, God, it's been that long. I was actually working in doing some work in Cambridge, and hanging out with a friend of mine from UCL. We went to the Orc's Nest after, of course, profuse drinking at various pubs. Right. Okay. I'm working on his arrows. Right, his arrows. There's a bit of unused. Steel. Went there once. You've heard of London? We actually didn't travel the UK that much when we lived there. My wife and I. It was always kind of like, okay, we can like spend £1,000 and go to Wales for 3 days, or spend £1,000 and go to Italy for 10 days. We're like, let's go to Italy. And not just Italy. Let's go to fucking like the Cinque Terre and hang out in the Mediterranean beach. It's expensive, eh? So I lived there from 2004 to 2011. David Cameron was the PM, and Gordon Brown, and yeah, Gordon Brown and David Cameron were the PMs when we lived there. I think that's who it was. So we won't finish this guy tonight. I'm not gonna try, but he's the base paint on everything is done. It will be done shortly, and then it's like except the very base. And then it's going back through all. Then it's highlighting. Oh, those faces will take some time. I have to put some effort into that for certain. Let me kind of see what I can do there. So what color should the fletching be on the arrows sticking in this guy's shield belt buckle? For arrow fletching, I normally do like red. I don't know, like red feathers. But I think I might do like a combination of red and yellow. Red and yellow feather fletching. That suit everyone's ideas of arrow fletching. Maybe it's a bit of a call out to Hawaiian, ancient native Hawaiian color schemes. Red and yellow fletching. And I mean, how will it work with the rest of this? I'm stepping back with the rest of this guy for a second. So these arrows here, the fletching on that arrow there, and that arrow there, those fletchings. I'm guessing kind of, well, I mean, whatever. I just think I might do red and yellow. And again, that's just because of Hawaiian, those are Hawaiian colors. Red, yellow, and, I could do red, yellow, and brown, actually. First to it when I worked in manufacturing. I guess I mean prepaid phone. There you go, prepaid phone cards. I think Diego Garcia Indian Ocean has nothing to do with. Okay, that's Cardman. Okay, I understand. Trish Talker. Really, why didn't they fucking raise their hand in class yesterday when I was talking about it? Because, oh my god, my Loki might want to talk with them, right? Huh. A card manufacturer. Okay, Cardman, yeah. I remember those phone cards when we first moved overseas. Buying phone cards to call back to the States and etc. etc. Okay, cool. Thanks for mentioning that, Trish Talker. Cool. Carbon, when I first moved to the UK, and I was like setting up, like calling like the power company and calling the fucking council on this and trying to get things, literally like, week one, trying to get stuff set up. I remember calling, to get more of the, maybe it was the power, either the power or the phone set up. And as you know, like many of the call centers are kind of like in the Northeast or other places that are economically depressed, right? And so I'm calling this person probably to set up my power stuff. I forget some French company, right? They used to run the show there. And so I'm talking to a Geordie on the phone, and could not understand a fucking word she was saying. Not a word. And eventually I just said, ma'am. I said, ma'am, you can tell I'm not from here. I'm from America. You need to speak to me like you're talking to a baby. Just speak so slowly and enunciate everything. Talk to me like you're talking to a baby. And I really couldn't understand a goddamn word she was saying. And once I said that, she just laughed and laughed. I was just like, because I really couldn't get anything. I don't know what language she was speaking. Yeah. Yeah, so at Trish Talker, the call centers in the UK are in places that are, kind of economically depressed, like they are elsewhere in the world. And yeah, the accents of the Geordies in the Northeast were just like, I couldn't fucking, not a word. Not a word could I understand. Just insane. I'll always remember that phone call. Ma'am, I can't understand a word you're saying. Okay. And he's got that little shieldy thing too right there. You can't really see that point at that one. Oh, it's the first time 18 income. Exactly. The Geordie accent is, oh my god. Out of control. What language are they speaking? I don't recognize that. It's like Martian. And that little shield thingy there too. It's like a buckler. Is it metal? Or no? I think it's maybe, or is it wood? I think it's metal. What is that thing? What is that thing right there? You can't really see. That little shieldy thing. It's not wooden. Well, maybe it's wooden. Maybe I'll just paint it as wooden. Yeah. But now it doesn't have the grains of a wooden thing, so it's gotta be metal. But even that's kind of strange. I don't know what to paint that. Yeah, probably going more south. I know. God. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe let's paint that a weird color. And we don't know what it is. Like I could paint like bright blue, right? Just look at my colors. Or some weird green I don't have on there. A light, no, it's can't be too out of this world. Because, looks like it's like something made out of clay. If it's another shield or a giant button, I don't know what the fuck it is. I guess it's a shield, but I'm gonna guess it's metal. And if it's metal, and metal colored, and I could make it like gold or something. No, not gold. Yeah, bronze or my blue steel. Gunmetal blue, rather. Okay, now rough iron. Oh, this will be that'll be rough iron. That's what it'll be. It's like you're speaking to a baby. Maybe I'll do some fire giant orange. That little thing. We'll see. Drift talker. I don't think I can play D&D yet again this Sunday. I think I'm gonna use Saturday and Sunday to catch up on everything. Okay, and yeah, I believe me, it seriously pains me to do this. I'm just so stressed on keeping up the D&D schedule. However, I think I really have to recognize reality and not play this weekend to get some other stuff done to set me up for success for the rest of the month. What do you think? Okay. But I seriously have this, like, I have a series of ideas to advance the scenario essentially around your character. I mean, not that, I mean, only because that's just was on the front of my mind. And so, like, I do have a, we could do a session at some point, maybe not this weekend, but the week after. Maybe it's you, me, and Alex. It was just the three of us. And we I want to say take care of some business, but, like, I mean, some stuff that I want to do with your characters. And, I mean, well, some options I want to present to you as your characters, and you and Alex work through those options. So yeah, so it's in my head. It's something I want to do, and we'll do it soonish, if that's okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, that thing's painted now. I got to get a little bobble on that. I'm gonna do is red and yellow feathers. I'll paint them yellow and I'll do red on top. That's how I'll do the feathers on his arrows. You'll see in a second. It's only 9:10. I can do this for a bit longer. Indeed. Okay. I'm gonna paint that middle dot. So I got rough iron, and I've used copper. What other metal do I have? Only steel. No, that's his thing over there. Bronze. I'll do that. Have you seen Alex Trish Tucker? I haven't seen her in weeks, I think, right? Is she around? No idea. Yeah. Okay, so she's not been in. I mean, yeah. Yes, Thane. Well, Thane has been around, so. Yeah. Hope she pulls it off. This stuff up. She's off. Okay. Dry this stuff. That piece. Now, I'm going to put some wash on that shield, and then I'll do the feathers. And the feathers will take yellow and red. There we are. They're red. Or could he? Oh, no. Can't be that. Yeah. These two. First, yeah. Get some brown wash here. So I'm over here in my other paint area. Oil, Agrax, Petrol Mud, Liquid Fresh Save, Agrax. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, Andy, indeed. When's the last time you guys did a Thursday session? Was it? Did you do a Cthulhu session last Thursday? Yeah, Andy was a fucking rock. Oh, okay. That's too bad. He rented out his house here, okay though. I mean, they're all fine. That I mean, I guess I should say that if Andy ever needs me to, like, go check on his house or something like that, I'm happy to do it. So here's this guy thus far. Yep. Okay. So okay. Here's this guy. I've done the middle section tonight. So this all that middle stuff, various shields and whatnots, and skulls and whatnot. Still have to really highlight stuff. I'm going to paint the fletching on his arrows right now. Little skulls, etc. If you look at that loop of rope he has hanging down with the skulls and bones, long bones in that rope, there's like things that are supposed to be femurs and humeri and whatnot. Hey, baptize. He is happy. It is both, frankly. I know, and he's like, yeah, putting his foot on that skull, right? I know, that's pretty cool. Backside too, yeah. He is both. He's happy to see you, and that's an arrow sticking out of his groin. How you doing, baptized? When are you going to go to Gary Con, baptized? Isn't it early morning for you? It is a good question. It's right down the road from you. Is it not? Yeah. I saw some of your cool tattoo posts on Instagram from your buddies in Colorado. Question. Okay. Very sick elderly cat. I'm sorry. You're taking care of the convalescent cat. Understood. There's a yellow fletching. I'm gonna do some red fletching on this too. Okay. How is? Ugh. What's new here? Well, not cat puking medicine news. No. We had virtual virtual Greyhawk Con this weekend. I DM'd a game in that. I played in the game. I watched some of DM Dave's game yesterday. That's all over now. I'm moving into summer. Getting this semester's almost come to an end. Losing my mind with fucking stuff I have to do that I didn't prepare for earlier. All good. My family is actually not here. I'm a bachelor right now. So yeah, you'd think I'd be living the high life, but no. I just too much work stuff to do. Again, based on my own poor planning. I've been working a lot. I haven't painted minis on a Wednesday night for a couple weeks because of my poor planning. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, I must say. Yep, doing my normal stuff, my work, teaching, research. Got some travel next month. Hopefully get a game in with DM Dave in the next month or so. There is hope yet. There's 2 weeks left of teaching. Weeks 11 and 12. Just 2. And Trish Talker, next week's your last week of lab. And then you're done with labs. There's hope. Such wonderful hope. And there's etc. Blah. I know, the last week of labs. I mean, I'm gonna have so much marking in the next couple weeks. It's just insanity. My portion of the archaeology essay, my portion of the final exam, my stuff from my other class. But I can't worry about that. I'm just giddy for the end of teaching. Just giddy. Like a little schoolboy. Trish Talker, this may be your last time in 108. Did you think about that? We'll have to go to OGH in week 12 after class with Nick and get our drink on. We'll have to. It's required. Okay, I need to let that dry a second more. You're not kidding. I'm a big cake. Okay, this size. This big. Oh, wow. I need brighter red than this. I got amaranth red. No, let's use this stuff. Maybe Monday. Hey, Carbon. Thanks for coming by, man. Always appreciate it. Always fun to talk. See you next time. I'll be right. Oh, okay. Okay, maybe. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll definitely do an end of year bash of sorts. There's one feathered arrow in his. I'm just gonna sit on the lab next week to see how we play the. Oh, okay. Trying to get him to get. She's trying. Oh, that's cool. That'd be cool. And maybe he's gonna ask me to print stuff out. Okay, I'm doing these arrows on this side too. I guess these are arrows from the same bowman because they're the same fletching. So that's what we're going with here. All right, there's these two arrows sticking. That's pretty good arrows. I mean, I'm pleased with the fletching on these arrows. Hey, Les, how are you? There's this guy's. Yeah, Les Reno, Secret Oblivion, everyone. Just a couple of us hanging out here. I was talking to Grey League earlier, Oranier, Tom, and had a Carbon on a bit ago, and yeah, my friend Trish Talker's on here, just doing our typical Wednesday night painting session. So I've been working on this guy. He's pretty serious mini. So I've just been doing his midsection here. Doing the fletched arrows there in his like shield belt buckle. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, taking a break, seriously. I've been so stressed out the last fortnight. For a variety of reasons. All of them my own making, just me, I'm kind of near the end of my teaching semester, and I didn't prep enough in advance, so I'm constantly playing catch up with, trying to get classes sorted. Chris Talker, one of the people on the stream here, perhaps she still is a teaching assistant in one of my classes, so she knows the craziness of it. Yeah, so just get my classes sorted, virtual Greyhawk Con, a couple other research issues, etc. Yeah, it's been insane. I've been so stressed out. This is the first time I've done my Wednesday night mini painting stream, Wednesday night in New Zealand, for maybe 3 weeks. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, good to see you, and hope you're doing well. And again, appreciate your game. Thinking about it, I've been pulling out my box set of City Greyhawk, and so I read our tour and section last night. I was just gonna look at that. I was like, actually, even right after the game, I pulled that book out to look at it. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the Melf book. The Melf book, yeah, awesome. Seriously, I was like, yeah. Pulled the box set out, pulled the book out. I was looking at it all. Absolutely. This is a guy I got online a while back, and I've been painting him slowly. And yeah, he's pretty darn complicated. But actually, I mean, complicated but easy too in a way. You just got these big portions of him, and so I've just been going slowly. And yeah. Absolutely, man. And I think on the Ask the Experts stream at the end of Virtual Con, that was my Monday. So I was in my office kind of working on stuff, and I had to, occasionally I caught a bit of the session. Yeah, because I was texting you, but I had to run out to do something else and teach class or whatever. So, yeah, I think I do think you guys will. I mean, I'm looking forward to that book, obviously, and yeah, hopefully you'll catch some other people as well, and get them fired up, as you say. Yeah. So, Oblivion, did you read um, Cormac McCarthy's The Passenger, um, and or Stella Maris? I'm just finishing The Passenger right now, and I'm at the point where I'm thinking I really wish from the very first page I had taken notes on all the characters just to give myself like a phylogeny of characters, right? Because it's so complex the way it's written, and yeah, I wish I had this like cheat sheet to go back. Oh, who is Euler? Who is whatever? Who is And I didn't do that, and so I might read it again and take notes so I can kind of keep tabs on the characters. But if you you said you're a Cormac McCarthy fan, and if you're a Cormac McCarthy fan, you know that there's just like his his paragraphs are like poetry. I mean, there's like you almost don't read it for the plot; you just read it for the poetry of it all. And my mom read. It is structurally challenging. That's why I'm like wishing. I'm like, God damn it! Why didn't I? I should have. I really wish I had like taken. Yeah, I mean, I've never think about that, but now I'm like, God damn it! I should have like taken notes. But my mom read that book. I think when she was visiting me here last, and she didn't like it, which fair enough. I don't. She's not. That's not just not her thing. And I was gonna ask her what you didn't like about it, but it is challenging. It's challenging to get through. But I mean, you can also. I think about this. I think about a couple of the McCarthy texts that have been made into movies. If you know his novels, and then you watch the movie, someone will deliver a soliloquy, and you think that is a classic McCarthy page-long soliloquy, and it rings McCarthy out of it. And there's sections in this book that I'm like, oh my God, this is a total McCarthy soliloquy. But yeah, so enjoying that, and enjoying lots of stuff right now. Just trying to make it through the end of the semester. Hope you're doing well. So what do I do next? Look at this guy. He's pretty. I mean, so this guy right now, I've painted every piece on him, every part of him, in a basic. Oh, except yeah. But now is the task of going back and really highlighting stuff, and I have not done his faces yet. His faces are going to be, that's going to take some work. Exactly. I haven't read Blood Meridian for a long time. I mean, that's been maybe a decade. Someday I'll read it again. But that book is my favorite, and the Judge. That book is just like wow. There's actually a scene in that which is in Blood Meridian, which is I can't remember the exact scene, but the gang is like riding through some portion of the Southwest, like New Mexico or northern Arizona, and they're obviously going through canyons that are full of Anasazi ruins and petroglyphs. And there's a scene where the judge he steps on a conquistador's metal boot or greave or whatever it is that kind of crumbles like burned aluminum foil under his feet. And I can picture that exact situation. and um, yeah, because I've been there and done work in that part of the world. So I just, it's so well written. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. There's a couple of his books I have not read. I have not like a couple of the really early ones. I got to go back through my stuff. Like maybe I haven't read Sutri or one or two of the very earliest stuff, but almost everything else I've read. Yeah, yeah. I do some. I'm gonna put some Rico Flesh Shade. Oh yeah. I'm talking to myself. As one does when you paint minis, you kind of spend a lot of time talking to yourself. Can't remember if I read Sutri. God, I gotta go look at all my books. It's some in another room in the house over there. What's the one where the oh, is it called the Orchard Keeper or the Keeper? I think I've read that, but not Sutri. You have to look at what I'm on the same. No, I've read Orchard Keeper. Yeah, yeah. He died too young. I'm sure he was quite old, but not ancient. He's not an ancient man. So you're taking a break, Les. What? Or 89, it was written in '89. Wow, that was the year I graduated high school. I don't think I was reading Cormac McCarthy in '80. I know it wasn't in '89. I don't. I didn't read any of his stuff in high school. I read his stuff in maybe not even university. In university, I was reading pretentious stuff like Ken Kesey and Jack Kerouac. I'm kidding. Good. But that's the kind of stuff you read when you're a uni student and you're all poetic and maudlin and yeah, at war with the world. So taking a break for a bit. That was your junior high phase. He was 89. Fuck. Okay, so he lasted a good long time. Just the picture on the back of his book of the in the dust jacket for the version of Passenger I have, which is actually hold on a second, I'll show you. This is the New Zealand version of that book of Passenger to Stella Maris, and it's probably a UK printing. I don't know, and it was a kind of a special edition, case and whatnot. And so this is the version I bought, and just really kind of cool covers of the two books. Um, I don't know if they have this in the U.S. or not. And here's how it kind of goes. The two books go like that, so their spines kind of create an image, um, and they slip into this nice little case, this half case. So yeah, the two books kind of create this nice thing. But yeah, so this is the version I bought here in New Zealand. Cyberpunk, new wave sci-fi. I was thinking, you know what? What I think about as I read U.S. news. Try not to do that too much, frankly. As I think about how much Philip K. Dick was so prescient and so saw the future so very clearly. Yeah, I just like, I was, in the, when the book, The Penultimate Truth, where, like whatever, 7 people run the entire planet and everyone else is below ground in those machines. I just think, yeah, that's the oligarchs today, and maybe we're not far from that. I was like, that was super prescient. That was like super prescient, super, just so spot on. And what was I thinking a couple days ago? It was just like last night. I was thinking about I don't know why, but Scanner Dark. Is it Scanner Darkly, where the police wear those suits that mask you, and essentially everyone wears these suits, and not everyone, the police, I think it's Scanner Darkly, isn't it? And no one knows who is who, and everyone is, yeah, it's just like, that's also, pretty prescient, pretty much what we're headed towards. And yeah, I can literally remember picking up books at this book stop in the U District in Seattle, and like I remember reaching off the narc agents, yeah, reaching off the bookshelf and like getting Valis or whatever it was, and like Scanner Darkly and reading those books, and they're incredible books. But now just thinking back, like, oh my god, how spot on they were. It's just like shocking, just absolutely shocking. Yeah, the truth. I just think about that. Yeah, it's too. There, it's 9:43. Must be earlier for you. Guy, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I've got to do some shading on his belt and stuff. So taking a break, Les. What are you gonna taking a break? But then I guess you probably have a 3:45. Yuck. You probably have a push to get book stuff done. Is that correct? Indeed. Okay, so yeah, a quick break and then back to that stuff. Well, for me, yeah, I'm just kind of trying to survive the next couple weeks of my semester, my teaching semester, and then I've got a huge amount of marking, grading to do through the rest of October. A couple events that I'm a part of, in charge of in the university in October and November. I'm going to Brazil for work in November. Yeah, and so that'll keep me away from things for just like what is it? I don't know. 10 days, not even 2 weeks. Gosh, then it's back here in December. I got a little more travel in December to Hawaii, which I know is nice. It's where I work though, so work stuff. Yeah, so then Christmas. Wow. Roderick, Arthur's friend, personally appearance in Bastion of Faith. Mentions he was companion of Art. Really? So is there just like a little tiny one-liner that mentions that? That was a good interaction, by the way. Those two for certain. And Bastions of Faith. Is Bastions of Faith 2e or 3.5? It's 2e, right? It's a 2e book. I don't have that. Okay, yeah. 3 sentences. Wow, you mind deep. Nice. I don't know your life, but I envy you your time to work on this stuff, but I know we all have. We're all working in our lives under strictures. Job is supremely uh, free, but sometimes I do get very frustrated with it, and I just like think, fuck it. No, I'm gonna quit. I never will, but maybe any job is like that. Iranians. Okay. So for my Greyhawk one shot, I was 576 Wild Coast, and kind of involved Hendred, Hextorian leader of Wyvernon. And I had a Paladin player, and I was thinking, oh, I can't make him a Hyronian follower, because if he knows, if the player knows their lore, they're gonna be so obsessed with destroying the Hextorian, which is not the goal of the adventure. So I was really worried about that. I was like, I can't have a Hextorian like antagonist and have be one of the players be a follower of Hyronians, because they'll lose. All they'll want to do is like attack the guy. Like, no, that'll derail everything. Maybe I was giving my players though too much credit for knowing in detailed lore and playing it because it was not an issue in the end. Totally not an issue. I know. Total side quest, killing the NPC. I was like, no, that's not the goal. And my players were one that was a Scottish Jeff, who's on Guild Superior a lot and Lorga Summit Chat and whatnot. And he Jeff's a great player. He's a really good player. Oh, this guy stepped down here too. Side quest totally kind of like derail your DM's kind of one-shot railroad. So what? One of the players, yeah, absolutely get Jeff. Jeff is a good player. He really is. As in, you know what a good player is. They're present. They're aware of the game and they're good turn takers. And they realize that, yeah, and that's and Jeff is all those things. Good turn taker, generous. Yeah. And yeah, focused. So his turn, he's not faffing about. He's got, this is what I'm doing. Well, as in like, engages with the material in a way and try to figure it out. Not just, well, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to kill things. I played with him in a couple Shadow Dark sessions with DM Dave, and a couple live kind of just crazy sessions at Gary Con, corridor sessions of, some weird, tabletop game or D&D or Castles and Crusades. So yeah, Jeff's good. A person that you want at your table for certain. Makes everything better. Look at. Right now he's trying to find that keep, isn't he? Is that what he's doing? He's trying to figure out what a map is. What are we doing here? Okay, I might confess you on that thing. Or go look at it. He's still asking for directions. Exactly. He's out there. That's funny. Yeah, you do good goblins, Les. I'll give you that. They're fun. I was also thinking about your goblins, though, in the... Not the one shot, but the session I did with you where we were down... Where... Oh, it was beneath... Not Stoink. Fucking the name is escaping me. Beneath the city, and yeah, the goblins were there in their little spine. Thank you, Spine Castle. Their little goblin sacks being fed some eldritch horrific resource. Yes, I do think of that every now and then too. So that's a very good image. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, this guy, he's getting there. He's got some things that need to happen. So his feet down there. There's his rest of him. He's, his faces have not been done. I need to work on highlighting everything. The fur around his shoulders in particular. Everything's got a one coat of paint on it. So, that's all right. His emergency chickens on the back of him. The skull beast he has on his shoulder. Yeah, the faces. The faces are going to be kind of like this is a big mini, so the faces are not going to be that difficult. I can paint that because it's big pieces, so I can deal with that. Down there. He is a handsome fellow, isn't he? Scar across the eyeball. This is a funny face, though. That face is kind of like, I don't know. Something thoughtful in that face. Maybe in both. But this is a mini I bought online just from some guy there's a Facebook trading site for this kind of stuff in New Zealand. I think I bought it for $20. I was all in spruce. I had to put it together, and most of the minis I paint are not this detailed. But this guy's incredibly detailed, just really nicely sculpted, I guess is what you would say. So, yeah, we'll keep working on him slowly but surely. But I think I know it's only 10 o'clock here, and I'm a weak person, so I'm probably gonna hit the sack. 10 o'clock. Yeah, I got some other stuff to do tonight. Hit the sack. Get up. Go to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's my Thursday. I got a bunch of stuff to do. Got a meeting in the afternoon, research work to do, and I got Friday, weekend. Yeah, this is by Dungeons and Lasers. It was a Kickstarter program, I believe. Dungeons and Lasers. Yeah, but just super high. I mean, really, it's obviously really cool stuff. This guy. All right, so I'm gonna sign off tonight. Les, thanks for coming by. Honestly, I know it's crack of dawn for you, but thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next game. Maybe we can get another game in before the end of the year. As in, if you need people to step in your normal game, always happy to. Like I did a couple months ago, whatever it was. Yeah. So we'll keep in touch, eh? I'm looking forward to it. Certainly some game before Christmas. Yeah, work something out. Anyways, or play. Yeah. I'd love to. Honestly, absolutely. All right. The couple of rest of you here. Good to see you all, and thanks. And yeah, take care out there. My goodness, in America, in particular, be kind to each other. Okay, I'll see you around.